First question for Coach Drew comes from John Warner with the Waco Tribune-Herald.
Scott, was it good to see how you guys could grind out a win even when the threes aren't falling and you're in foul trouble?
Welcome to Big 12 play. And that means you're not going to shoot it well every night, and you got to be able to defend and rebound. And we like to take care of the ball a lot better than we took care of it. But credit Iowa State for forcing us into some things that we haven't been doing as much of, as far as forcing plays and as much one-on-one. But at the end of the day, that's the Big 12. That's why you're part of this league. Anytime you get a win, you got to be excited, especially on the road in the Big 12, because when you're going against the number one conference in the country, each and every game is a hard fought, and there's no gimmies. There's no easy places to play, no easy wins.
Can you talk a little bit about Jonathan's contributions? He took a bunch of charges, got a lot of rebounds, blocked some shots.
Well, I thought Jonathan really he was effective early on, but at the end of the game, really, I thought did a tremendous job when we were switching ball screens, and he did a great job on Bolton for them, and they were on a little roll, and John, that's where to me really stepped up and did his main contribution as far as on the defensive end that the average fan might not recognize just what a great job he did on Bolton on them switches. And then the other thing is double figures rebounding, and him and Mark, normally you feel pretty good when shots go up and those two are in the area that one of them's going to come down with it.
Great. Thanks, Scott.
Next question from Kendall Cott with Arley Bears.
Scott, when Davion picked up his fourth foul and Mark already had four fouls, Matt seemed to play very well from him that helped you all fuel that big day.
Yeah, we got to an early start in the second half, go up 10, and then a big foul on Davion, and then Mark got a foul, and that for a lot of teams, when you lose two players like that, especially on the defensive end, you really suffer. And that's where our depth came in, and great contributions from the bench and the guys that came in and played.
And then Scott, Flo Thamba did a really good job, like as a role man for you all today. How's he improved as a role man for your offense?
Can you repeat that?
Sure, Scott. It looked like Flo Thamba did a really good job on pick and rolls today for you all on offense. How has he improved as a role man?
Well, Flo's an elite screener. He does a tremendous job in sprinting into a ball screen. He sets them wiggle. He adjusts his angles. And then he's gotten really good at catching and finishing and not putting himself in tough situations. So that's credit to his hard work.
Next question from Jerry Hill, Baylor Bear Insider.
Scott, it may have been on Flo too, but looked like you guys did a much better job on Solomon Young in the second half. He had like 11 points. First half, it was really hurting you, and he only had 4 points in the second half.
Well, I thought first they did a good job limiting his touches, fronting him, being physical with them. And then I thought our help side defense improved, and we didn't leave him on an island as much. And that definitely was important to get us that lead in the second half.
Next question from Tim Watkins with Bears Illustrated.
Thanks. Obviously, Iowa State and Hilton Coliseum has been electric atmospheres in the past. How different was it with minimal to no fans there to kind of create your own energy in a place where that usually isn't a problem?
Well, definitely it's different walking out, and it's different. You drive up on the bus. Normally fans are all waiting outside. They open the door. They all come running in because it's warm inside. And in the atmosphere they generate is part of why college basketball is so enjoyable. At the same time, that's where you're just blessed to be able to play a game each and every day. Some schools out there aren't able to play right now because of COVID, and we're able to play. And at the same time, you're still in Ames. It's still 15 degrees and freezing, and the fans they have are loud, and it's a different gym, and the ball is different. So that does affect you.
And then, Coach, you obviously, it looked like in the late second half, you changed how you were playing the pick and roll defensively, going from maybe a hedge to switching. What led you to make those changes and adjustments?
Well, I thought first and foremost, we trust our bigs to be able to guard a guard. And that was just an adjustment that we went to because they got on a roll. And it's kind of like a pitcher. If you got the fastball, it's great, but it's also good to have the slider, the curve, the knuckle, or whatever else. So the fact that Flo and John can guard a guard and have really improved in that area allows us to have that as an option. I thought that was really critical to help us on that run to get some separation down the stretch.
Next question from Jason King with Sigma 365.
Scott, just wanted to know how Adam's doing. You know, he was such a big part of y'all's offense, first 4 or 5 games, and he was out, and he struggled a little bit these last few. Is he just trying to get back in the flow, or just typical, just bad game or two?
Well, I think if you think about it, someone with COVID, you're 10 days in a hotel room. You can't go outside, can't do anything. I mean, for a normal person, you might be okay, but for an athlete, it takes some time to get back in the flow of things.
Yeah.
So I would assume, and Adam's such a diligent kid, he's always going to follow the rules, do exactly what he's supposed to do. And I thought defensively, offensively, he didn't show up what he's been doing, but defensively, he was really solid for us, and a big reason why we were able to get a win.
Flo, how good was it to see that y'all could grind out a win? Y'all been blowing out everybody. Was this a good step for the team, even though a lot of things didn't go right?
I mean, for me, I just have total faith in our team. Most people just know us as like the team that just shows boats and makes a lot of threes, but our team we just have the grind, we have the grit. We have the mentality of going 1-0, just being persistent, fighting through adversity, and that's just what we have, and that's in our DNA. And yeah, it showed out there on the court.
Next question from Chris Williams of KWTX.
Yeah, congratulations on the win. For a long time we've been talking Big 12 basketball, Big 12 conference. Now that you have had a game, you've grinded out a win, does it change your perspective on what the next month or so is going to look like?
No, I mean, for us, not entirely, because, we, just like I said, we have the mentality of going 1-0, and we treat every game like it's the last, especially with unprecedented events like with COVID and stuff. So you never know when you're ever going to play next. So we just go out there with mentality like it's our last game, and just go all out and play hard.
Next question from Kendall Kaut with Our Daily Bears.
So you all were down 55-53 with 10 minutes left. You grabbed an offensive rebound and got an and one to take the lead. When you grabbed that offensive board, were you immediately thinking to go back up, or what was your mindset on that board, if you remember that play?
I mean, when I grabbed the board, Coach Chang always teaches us to grab it, go right back up. And that's just basically the work and the thought of repeatedly doing it in the practice is just a habit that just took over, and I just did it. That's about it.
Next question from Nikki Latarullo with KCNTV in Waco.
With the way Hilton Coliseum normally is, do you think that it helped you guys having no fans in there today, because they would have been able to feed off the atmosphere a lot more if it was packed?
I mean, in our team, we don't really look too much into that because we always know any away game is always tough regardless of if it's fans or not. I mean, obviously with fans, it gives the home team an advantage, but for us, we always know every away game is going to be tough, so we just always bring our A game.
Next question from Andrew Miner with Bears Illustrated.
Hey, Flo, Iowa State had some nice post-ups in the block throughout the game. What do you guys have to do better, even defensively, when you're guarding the interior post play of your competition?
I mean, in the first half, it was kind of tough. They went to him all the time. And like you guys noticed in the second half, we just made an adjustment, by taking it away early and also having the help side defense there. So it's just basically just making adjustments. And I feel like doing that in the second half just gave us an upper hand.
Jared, obviously a lot of things didn't go right. You're used to blowing out opponents. How good was it that you guys could grind out a win today?
Yeah, it's been a long time since we played some, stiff competition, and we said in the locker room these are the games that make basketball fun, not the blowout wins, and it was really good for us to finally get a little rubber meets the road type thing, and that's what happened tonight. So it was really good. Get the ball rolling.
You guys have been so good shooting threes. Had a tough night tonight. Were you getting open looks or were y'all heavily defended?
I think they did a great job of scouting us and being on time, on target, and not giving us catch and shoot threes, which is what our bread and butter is. And we didn't have too many of those. We had a lot of off the bounce ones, so I think that would hurt us. But other than that, you're not going to shoot it well all the time, especially in the Big 12. And I'm just glad we found a way to win. You know what I mean?
Okay. Thanks, Jared.
Next question from Kendall Kaut with Our Daily Bears.
Jared, what did it feel like to finally get that dunk you wanted in a game?
Oh yeah, I've been waiting on it. Everybody on the team has been just dogging on me because I dunk in practice and I dunk a lot in practice, and I finally got one in the game, and they've been waiting for it, so it felt really good. I worked so hard over the summer, over the quarantine, just to get my bounce right, so it's good.
And was there something about either Iowa State's defense or how you all came into this game where you wanted to really hit the roll men on pick and rolls early in the contest?
Yeah, I mean, we always try to, make our roll man a threat. I think that opens up our shooters in the pick and roll game, and that's what we try to do. Flo did a great job. John did a great job. He's a threat on the lob and stuff like that. So, that's definitely a point of emphasis always.
All right, thanks, Jared.
Next question from Jerry Hill, Baylor Bear Insider.
Jared, obviously you and a lot of the guys struggled from the three, but you scored 16 in the second half, I believe. What was the difference for you in the second half? And you got it going early with that three.
Yeah, it's a grind. I don't know how other ways to put it. I just try to, make sure I make the right play all the time, whether it's me scoring or me making the right pass. So it's just sometimes the flow of the game, and my three kind of came down, and my guys found me. So that's the only way I got to play better in the second half. But other than that, I think our team did a great job of finding me, and did a great job all in all.
I guess playing in empty arenas, we've seen this a couple of times throughout, other teams and things like that, getting technical fouls after, cheering or whatever. What has that been like as a player, and adjusting to that?
Yeah, it's been extremely hard for me. I'm not gonna lie. I think the crowd adds another factor to the whole game, and it either forces you to play well or it crumbles you and makes you play bad. It gets the team. It's like it makes the road game a road game. Those factors I miss definitely, but I'm so glad we're able to play. Through the pandemic. So, but I definitely do miss it.
Thank you, Jared.
Next question from Kevin Longquist with SicEmSports.com.
Jared, what did you all like about the way that your defense operated the last 10 minutes? I think they finished 4 of 13 from the field, which created the separation there for you.
Yeah, we try to switch up the ball screen coverages, and I think that's what we did late, and it caused them some trouble and keeping a body on a body. Iowa State got some great guys that can hit the read, hit the tag. And when you keep a body on a body, it's hard for them to have their offense run smoothly. So that's what we did kind of in the late stretch.
And then learning how you guys are playing, because this was pretty much the first game where you guys were dealing with foul trouble here today. So what kind of resourcefulness did you find from the bench when you kind of had to go with a different looking lineup out there?
Yeah, I think everybody played their role extremely well when they had to come in, and guys like Davion and Mark got in foul trouble. We're loaded, we're deep, and we got guys that's not going to let off once they get in the game. Matthew Meyer, Adam Flagler, and John, they're great guys that are going to come in and do their role. So I think that's really important for us, especially for Baylor and what we're trying to do.